Hey guys, Average Joe back with another video. So I ordered a bunch of stuff for the build. I ordered all this when I thought I was still going to be using the aluminum block. So I went ahead and got stud kits and everything just to try and save the aluminum block some stress. So I probably got more than what I actually need for the steel block, but it's already paid for, so we're going to use it. Got gaskets and bolts and all that, so we're just going to go through and just start knocking out some of the tedious work while we can, and we'll get all this stuff out of the way real quick, and then we'll get to work. Alright, so we'll just start with this guy. Got it all cleaned up. Just used some Dawn dish soap. Cleaned up all the ports and the intake area. Just got all the evap oil out of there. So we're gonna replace gaskets, and I even got new injector clips. I just ordered a full set because I was missing a couple, so I just got a whole set. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. Let's get these other ones off of here. Save those for spares, backups, another project or whatever, just in case I get something else that ends up missing parts or something. So we got fresh AC Delco, nice shiny injector clips. Get those on here. Nice and new. And as far as the motor goes, the pistons are on back order, so we're waiting on those to come in, and then we can finish the hone on the cylinders. And once that's done, the guys over at Langenfelter are gonna clearance everything for me and balance the rotating assembly, all that fun stuff. So they're gonna take care of that, and then we'll get it back. And I might do like a live rebuild on it. I think that could be pretty fun. So we'll see how that goes. So keep an eye out for that. So fuel rails done. Injectors are oriented. I don't know if these need to be in a specific orientation. Should be okay there. So yeah, so that's done. Now we're gonna throw on the new throttle body gasket and put the throttle body back on. So we got a nice Felpro throttle body gasket, and the reason why I went ahead and just got fresh gaskets for everything, some of the gaskets were damaged, some were just too well used to reuse. So with the LS platform, like 95% of the gaskets are reusable as long as they're in good condition. And a lot of these were crushed or torn, or like the aluminum cord gaskets that were like bent, damaged. So I just went ahead and got all new for pretty much everything. So go ahead and grab the throttle body. Here's this guy. So I'm actually gonna delete this little heater section. So what that's designed to do is you got the steam port that comes off the heads, and then this guy plugs into that steam port, and then you have coolant running through the bottom of the throttle body to kind of warm it up. So like in the winter time, it helps warm up the air coming in. So it kind of acts a little bit like a choke on a carburetor. I know that's kind of a simplified explanation for it, but that's also giving you warmer intake temps. So just to kind of help keep your intake temps down, you just delete this section. So what we're actually going to do is take this. We've got a new steam port set up. So I'm going to run this the ICT steam port. So it's just a couple billet ends with a nice braided hose here, so it'll look good. So that'll go on there, and then we'll do a barbed fitting on this side. So then I can take this hose that runs back to the radiator, and we'll just plug it right into that port. So it'll be nice and clean, look good. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and put our intake gaskets on. Always look at the packaging. Okay, so these guys do go on a specific way. You see it's got this little dog ear on here, and there's a corresponding spot right there. So we just press that in there. And you just want to make sure that they're seated well and they're not like kinked up or anything. And if you haven't cleaned out your intake, when you take the old gaskets out, you want to make sure that all of these tracks are nice and clean. That's just going to make sure that you get a nice solid seat. Now this next one's kind of optional. It really depends on what type of motor you're building and whether or not you decide to keep your NOx sensors. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my NOx sensors, at least for now. So this is your valley tray, and this is where your NOx sensors go in. So you've got these sensors. So you've got these sensors that will screw into the block, and then this will sit over it, and you've just got these little cups that don't really seal, they just kind of snap on like that. Okay, now some people will silicone those, but then it just makes it that much harder to just makes them that much harder to get back out later. And the original fix for that is these guys. So you put these in the front and in the back, and that seals this section of your valley cover. So if you're just doing a flat billet valley cover and you're doing a knock sensor delete, then you don't really need those. You can actually like leave those off or take them off or do whatever. And then like what other people do is they'll take those off and then they'll seal these. But I don't recommend that. I just go ahead, put these on, and just seal it right out the gate. Like, don't even have to worry about it. And then one thing I might do is I've got that gold reflective tape. I might go ahead and add that tape in here just to kind of reflect some of the engine heat out of the intake. So we'll see. It might be something I try. I don't know. See how it goes. But go ahead and get those on. And then I think the intake manifold's pretty much done after that. Like I said, this is just gonna be sitting inside here, about like that. And that'll push against the foam, and the foam will seal out the center section so that you don't get water buildup inside your knock housings. And then all that's left, so that's good. We've got okay, so I also ordered a new intake manifold bolt kit. ARP, nice stainless steel. They're actually 12-point head. I thought I got the hex head just so that I could keep everything the same, but I didn't, so oh well. It is what it is. At least it'll look good. There it is. Alright, so I think it's done. Oh, it's like wrong. Need any more? Alright, so that takes care of the intake for now. Set this. I'll just set that right there. There we go. That'll work. And where that's going to live until the motor comes back. Next, we're going to go ahead and get the valve covers finished up real quick. Again, pay attention to what you're working on. So what these are is just new seals for the valve cover bolts. The old ones were pretty tore up. Probably saw me take them apart. Maybe, I don't know if I got a video of that. But we'll go ahead and get... So here's valve covers. Got a nice VHT Wrinkle Plus finish on it. I think it came out really good. I might add a red stripe in the center, maybe, or I might just leave it alone. I don't know yet. We'll find out. You'll find out when I find out. And then I just gave the valve cover bolts a nice coat of silver, just for some contrast. It might come off when I actually bolt these in. I don't know, we'll find out, but for now, it'll work. Alright, so these are just going to go back on here. I might need to get some oil, maybe. Let's see. So, and then they just go in here, and you want to pop them in, just like that. So you want them popped in there, and then that just kind of captures that whole setup there. Improved racing. What did I get from that? I don't remember. Oh, I remember now. So, like I said, this is going to be a race car. So I got some race car goodies for it. This, and guess what it is from the shape, is trap doors for the oil pan. So, that's really light. It's aluminum. So, what these do is when you're accelerating under G-force or turning, decelerating, turning, these trap doors lock in oil at the pickup. So it keeps the oil from starving at the pickup. So you got a lot of G-forces going this way, you know, like making a hard right turn. This trap door is going to shut. This one's going to open. and it's going to allow oil to flow in but not flow out. So it's going to keep oil at your pickup. So nice. It's going to be really cool. I mean, I'm not going to have any comparisons because I've never driven this car. So it's just going to be, it's a preventative thing. I wanted to make sure this dude was ready to rock and roll. I don't want to have to tear this motor out 5 different times, upgrading shit. I wanted it to be done. So that's just one of those things that will help do that. And what that does is, here's the window tray. So here's the factory pan. Here's the aftermarket one. So let's see here. So you can see on the factory one, there's this little blocker back here, which goes like that. So what this does is it allows, instead of blocking the oil there, it allows the oil in easier. And then it actually traps it at the pickup. Oh, actually, it pretty much seals off at the front, so the oil comes down, flows over the top, flows in, and then feeds back in to the back, but it traps all the oil right inside that area, right there. That will be really nice, and you can go ahead and install that because I have the bolts right here. They've been cleaned, so I need to find some thread locker, some blue medium strength thread locker. Make sure that's mixed up real well. And then go ahead and install this bad boy. So, trap door is installed. Alright. So as far as this goes, it's pretty straightforward. You just want to try and pop that in there as even as possible without chewing it up. So you can get it most of the way in there just by hand. And then give it just a little bit of persuasion. I like to use the largest socket I can with a flat bottom. So this has a nice Nice flat backside on it. Grab the dead blow hammer, and then massage it in there. The nice thing about having it off the car when you do this is you can look at the inside here and you can see if you've got it fully seated or not. There it is. So that one's done. It's in there. Good to go. Get rid of this guy. And there we go. I think that's going to do it for the day. Don't really have a whole lot more I can work on. So thanks for watching, and see you guys later.